Rerolling overload gears is one of the biggest ways to increase your damage in Nikke, and because of that, doing it correctly is really important, and you want to make sure you're not really wasting any of your resources. If you're not careful enough, you could end up spending way more than what you really should be spending on a unit. In this video, I'm going to show you how it's properly done and my process on it step by step. You might have seen my previous video on rolling rapi with my own account, but this video is going into much more details and steps than that previous video. On top of that, it's with the goal of getting minimum or perfect ideal lines for a unit. We're not just going for good enough or decent enough. We're going with the process and mindset of aiming at least 4 times elemental, 4 times attack, and other extra lines that's ideal for that unit or best in slot for that unit. This isn't just about rolling higher values, but also trying to get the most important rolls, prioritizing the rerolls, and knowing where to draw the line of switching target or the next step. This account had over 700 rocks in its inventory, and I spent over 4 hours in this single account review rolling their units and ended up with really insane numbers on the highest priority units. Alongside showing some of the rerolls I did for it, I'll add some notes throughout the video to note some of the key points for how I handled the different situations. Starting off with, let's fix this Cinderella, because yeah, she is one of the bigger DPSs. At least like for any DPSs, aim for attack LA, ideally both on each piece. That's my first line of criteria. So right now I see attack here with ammo, there's attack here. So now I'm gonna try to work on these to either get attack or LA. So got LA there, I'll take that. Attack or LA here, I got LA there. So now, okay, now we go to phase 2 in terms of re-rolling, which is when I try to get 2 good lines for each. Now, here's the thing though. The only good one really is this helmet, because like technically there's ammo here. Cinderella, she typically wants at least 1 ammo line, but ideally 2 ammo lines, so she doesn't reload as much. But this also doesn't have LA. There is a pretty good chance that I will reroll this later. However, we don't have any other source of ammo, so I will try to reroll these other ones first. Now, it really depends how much you want to min-max like this particular unit. Preferably, I would try to get a 3rd line before start blocking. So for example, this one has attack, and we can try to lock this and try to fish for elemental, but it's not really the best choice for me right now. You have so much rock, so you have a lot of freedom on this. Typically, I guess it depends on, do you want 12 out of 12? So whenever we say out of 12, it's like how many optimal lines do we want for a particular unit? In particular for Cinderella, I would say 9 out of 12 would be the minimum, which is like 4 attack, 4 LA, 1 ammo. And anything after that is like either more ammo or more crit rate or crit damage. But that also means that you have to figure out like, okay, what are the things that we still need? Now these first lines, I would typically try to reroll them. Second lines also kinda, it depends, but I usually do them after I reroll the first line. Unless this first line has like a really good value, but it doesn't, so it doesn't 12%. I'm kind of more open to trying to reroll this more. My goal is to get either attack or LA or maybe ammo on the 3rd line as much as possible, because it will save me rocks in the long term. Okay, so here's the thing. I said, right, I need 1 to 2 ammo for Cinderella. Ammo is not the most optimal. However, a 3rd line is not bad. I will take this because that is still one of the lines that she wants, and then it's a lot easier. And in case, the reason why we want the 3rd line is because for some people that don't know, the first slot always has, whenever you reroll, the first slot always has 100%, the second slot is like 50% chance to get something, and the 3rd slot is 30%. So ideally, you get something that's like best in slot for that particular character, and ammo is one of the things that is good for Cinderella. But here's one good thing for having ammo though on the 3rd line. I am now gonna be a bit more free to reroll this, to lock this attack line and roll for elemental here. Because the 2nd line of ammo is great for Cinderella, but I think the minimum is 1. But before I start locking things, I want to try to finish the other ones first. Like in this one in particular, the attack line is in the 2nd slot, This one also, the elemental is in the second slot. So lots of improvement. That this attack line is 10.4%, which is I believe tier 10 or tier 9. This one 9.4% though. It's a little lower. It's tier 1. So I would probably just like reroll this anyways. Kind of sucks. There, that's one of the good things that we want to hit. See, this is why I want the roll instead, is because you get both. You can get the chance to get like really good setup, right? Like this one. Charge damage isn't really the worst, but it's not really great. You want crit technically. However, my goal in phase 2 is for each piece to get 2 good lines. I got my goal here right now. I would reset it personally, or not yet though, but attack is kind of low and the elemental is like this. But I will revisit this later because maybe we don't need to anymore. Maybe we can get lucky because like we already technically solved the ammo here and technically here. However, we might lose this ammo here, but it depends. It depends on what your goal is on Cinderella. If you want 12 out of 12, I would probably continuously change effects here. Charge damage isn't really technically the best. I would probably aim for crit damage. Assuming that we get the optimal lines for the helmet, gloves, and armor, I would categorize charge damage as a 0.5. It's not like a best in slot, but it's also, you know, can't really get much more. But if you want to save rocks, I would probably just chill here and then hope that we get the other ones here. Alright, so now I'll continue this. I can technically start working on this one now also because it still doesn't have attack or LA. Now you have 2 options here. You can permanent lock here because 77% is pretty good already, so you don't really need to get more. However, you have 3,000 custom locks. So typically when you have this much custom locks, I use the custom locks first before the custom module. I only start using the custom module locks, which are permanent locks, only when we're running out of custom locks. But you have so much custom locks, so I would just use this for now. Okay. There you go. What is happening? Why do you guys keep getting the best luck whenever I'm rolling for you guys? You guys, I swear to God. So that's the ideal. We got the best in slot. The elemental damage is kind of on the low end. I kind of want it higher personally, even though the attack is tier 10. The elemental damage is kind of on the lower end. I will reset this attribute, get it a little bit higher. 19. I think I'll take this. I kind of like more elemental. Okay, so now take a look at here. We have 2 good lines here, attack and LA. We have 3 good lines here, attack, LA, ammo. And this one we have attack and ammo, so 2 good lines here, right? So now this one is the only one that's left that has only 1 good line. So now I'm gonna try to reroll this again. I'm trying to get something on the 3rd line now. Yeah, let's see first. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, it gets in a dry spell, but it is what it is. That's just how it is. So if I have to choose between attack or LA, it's really... Oh, this one is actually not bad because crit rate on the 3rd line is actually pretty... It's not bad, actually. Because, like, technically, it's, like, one of her better slots also, right? But it depends if we can manage to keep this ammo. Okay, I'm gonna try... let's see what we get up here. So, in terms of, like, trying to reroll this... Since it's first line, some people like to do double locks. However, ammo isn't really the best thing and also we already have ammo here. It's another matter if I don't have any other ammo source, but I already have an ammo source here also. So I'm more willing to give up this ammo in order to get an LA. I'm gonna try to get an LA here. Again, I probably would have perma-locked this. Tier 11 is not really bad to perma-lock. But I would just keep going because you have so much. Fuck you. I swear. God. Anyways. Okay. So this is like a tricky situation because like now I have LA attack here. I have LA attack here. I have LA attack here. And now I have LA here, but only on the 2nd line, and I have crit rate here. So technically, this crit rate. It's technically BIS, right? But also at the same time, it depends on what we get on the middle line here. And yeah, this one is looking for the 3rd line, so it's kind of difficult. I think I will try my luck on keeping constantly doing change effects here, because I still would love another ammo line personally, although even though crit rate is actually still good and one of the better ones, but then technically for her crit rate, it could be crit rate, could be crit damage, it could be ammo. So basically doing a raw change effects here, even though technically crit rate is really good, you have so much more potential for different better combination. So I would just do that, and maybe I would feel more confident if I get attack or LA on the last line rather than crit, right? Alright, let's see. So you have LA and ammo, which is I think probably better. But I would love both LA and attack. So I want the LA or attack on the third line as much as possible. Blue, don't get baited by blue first lines. This is just how it is. Okay, third line attack. This is really, really good. Because now we can like get this. And then now we can roll for elemental. Charge damage, critical rate. Actually, this is not bad, actually, too, in terms of critical rate. So now we have the critical rate on the second line. Since I can take critical rate, critical damage, ammo, I'm probably just gonna be change effects here. I still would love an elemental. That's what I would aim for. Right here. Nope, this one's fine. And this is the beauty of being able to save a lot of rocks, because you can pivot a lot of your rolls and make sure that like you're properly setting them up. Yeah, don't get baited by the blue also. But okay, there you go. So now we made a 4 attack, 4 elemental Cinderella. We have 660 rocks. We started with how much, chat? How much rocks did we start? Like 700 something, 703. So in like 50 rock, we fully converted this Cinderella into 4 attack, 4 LA with 1 ammo line. And now you can technically min-max it a little bit more. You can try to fish for ammo here or fish for ammo here. It's up to do. Yeah, just like that, we got the 9 ideal lines. I would probably reset attributes. This is kind of low. 22.8. There you go. There you go. So now I made a 88-89% elemental. The attack is +4. Okay, this one's kind of low. I'm gonna try my luck and do a full reset attribute here. I'm just fishing for luck here, hoping to get a better average of attack and LA. Maybe it might become blue. Okay, there you go. 1120. There you go. I'll take that one. All right, so now you have 40 attack, 86 elemental. This is the beauty of when you have so much rocks to work with, right? When you have so much rocks to work with, that's kind of how you will start doing it. And see how much stronger having a third line, getting the third line, and you're trying to roll change effects just to get that third line. It's so much stronger. Rolling like that feels like a fever dream. Let me give you another example. We have 700 rocks to work with. Let's go second example. All right, this one is actually another big one that we can reroll. Second example, we have attack and ammo here. Typical. This is a very typical bait that a lot of people try to get stuck on. But whenever a unit needs 3 good lines for each, especially for Rapi, she really needs attack, LA, and ammo, right? Whenever she needs that much, you really want to get that third line. Typically, you guys get so baited on it. So here, at least, I'm seeing something good here, which is like you got a good line for each piece. So now we're on the second stage of getting first line. Let's try to get 2 lines, 2 good lines for each. For Rapi in particular, I think she would be a 10 out of 12, which is 4 attack, 4 LA, and 2 ammo lines. That would be my main goal for her. At least 2 ammo lines. Ideally 3, because a lot of her attack damage comes from her shooting. So 3 ammo lines. So 10 or 11 out of 12 good lines. So this is a very difficult unit, and we really gotta reroll this. Okay, so first lines, this one is ammo. If I have to choose which one I would reroll first, I would choose this ammo line first, because like for any kind of DPSs, I want at least either attack or elemental on their first rolls. So then let's start this. All right, so let's start the counter from 655. Let's fix this Rapi. 655. All right, sometimes you just get it. So our goal is to get at well, that's a very low value attack. kind of pisses me off, so I'm not gonna take it just because. All right, let's see. Attack and charge speed. Elemental crit rate. However, the first line elemental crit rate is on the third line. Not feeling good about it. Elemental middle line. I'll take it for now, just because I kind of value the middle line more. But we're gonna reroll it still. I'm not gonna settle down with it. This one's attack crit rate also. Okay, now great. Third line elemental. Take that. And then I would probably keep rerolling this because like right now every piece has like a good good stat line. So now I would try to get it. I'm hoping for ammo or attack, ideally. Crit rate, I'll take that because crit rate is good for her also. Ammo, there you go. Okay, so the ammo and the elemental are kind of low value. So maybe I'll try to get the higher value a little bit here. 4420. Okay, I'll take that for now. All right, I'll stop for now. And let's move on to the other pieces. This one's the first line attack, so I'll try to reroll this. So that one took us 14 rocks to get 2 lines. Ammo, crit damage. Okay, third line ammo, great, excellent. I'll take that. Do a change effects. Attack, perfect. So now we have 2 good lines here. I'm gonna jump to the next one now. This one is our first roll. You have attack and crit damage. Let me see here. You have attack and ammo here. I'll reroll this one because the other one has 2. Ammo third line, great. Okay, all right, perfect. That's actually we're hitting our minimums here. Like that crit. We can reroll the value later. Yeah, I'm not like perma locking again because well, one, you have a lot of custom locks, but also 2, we're gonna reroll this any further. Oh, yeah. I want an attack or LA. Okay, let's keep going. Gotta keep going. And again, this for these kind of premium units, especially like rapi Red Hood. Ooh, okay. All right. So this is like a very peculiar thing, right? And this is the first situation that we got the first time around, where the ideal is on the third and second line. This is the time when I'm more open to do double locks. However, whenever I do double locks, I personally like doing one perma lock and then the other one is custom lock. That way you're not eating up too much custom locks. So before I do that, so now we're just looking for elemental, right? But before I do that, I want to get something at a pretty high level. Personally, I would aim for like something that's at phase 10 at least before perma locking something. Phase 10 or phase 11 onwards are higher. That's when I would perma lock that. So I'm gonna try to reset attribute here. Try to get something with phase 10 phase. Okay, 64. This is a permalock, this one. Now, if for some reason I got the attack at like 11%, I would permalock the attack. But this one is 64%. Kind of good for me for now. Personally, not more people won't have as much custom lock. If you have a lot of custom locks, maybe you could do double custom locks here. However, for the sake of this example, I will do, yeah, so if you have like 2,000 custom locks, I think you're probably okay doing this double custom lock. I'll just do this example for once, just to illustrate that, and then try to roll for the elemental here. Somehow stay discharge damage. However, for a lot of you that don't have a lot of custom locks, maybe if you have like 500 or at less than 1,000, maybe you can go with locking one perma lock. So this is a perma lock, and then do a custom lock here, temporary custom lock here, especially for the one that has lower value. Because for example, if we somehow get an elemental here, I'll take the crit damage because that's still, she prefers that. If we somehow get an elemental there, we would reroll it. So you want to use custom lock if you wanna reset the value later once you get the ideal lines. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'll try to do this. Please give me elemental. Charge that. Come on, what? And this is where it starts getting expensive. However, right now we are at a situation where we have 2 good lines each. So now we're going into the situation of, okay, I want to try to min-max this now, and we want 3 good lines each. So in this situation, this is the part where now we're trying to do which is the next easiest one to get 3 good lines. Technically, based on this, it would be Rapi Red Hood. One LA. This is where you could go from like 50 rocks to 100 rocks, but yes. Okay, and see, this is why I wanted a custom lock, because now we got the elemental. I can just reset attribute here and get the higher value on this. There's the attributes. 12 and 9. Perfect. Well, I want it to be more. Now, here's the thing. If you are a huge simp, I would probably remove this lock, because if you're a huge simp, you want blue lines, black lines, right? And it would be better to have all of them unlocked. How much of a simp are you for Rapi Red Hood? I want to ask, because like basically this tier 10 is like kind of good already. Rapi's wife, there you go. All right, so now we go for a bigger gamba right here. All right, so here we go. We try to win it big. Come on. Let's see it. If we get like a better average, yeah, okay. See, this is what I mean though, right? Now that we have a blue line, this is tier 14. That's a tier 14. Yeah, this is tier 14. So now, yeah, you can do this and get the higher value on the attack. Probably at the sake of ammo, probably not. Now, here's the thing. It depends how much of a bigger simp are you. Now, are you going for a black line or tier 14 is enough? The thing is, it's up to you. You could perma lock this or just do custom lock it. And then, yeah, like if you want to eventually lock. Yeah, it's like, it depends how deep you are. There are different types of people. You could perma lock this one because you're just resetting the attributes of attack and ammo. Yeah, we are gonna come back to this. I just want this attack to be higher value. So I'm trying to reroll this. I'm just telling you later down the road. I wanna get this a little higher. Okay, you know what? We'll come back to it. Now, here's the thing. You have ammo here, attack and ally here. You have ammo here, you have attack. So I'm now trying to figure out what's the next best one to reroll. And I think I might go with the helmet, either the helmet or the armor. The reason for that is because you have ammo here and you have ammo here on the third line. So basically, you're guaranteed to have at least 2. So I'm more open to trying to just get attack line on the armor and losing this ammo line here. I'm okay with it, right? I'll try to see. Maybe this one, maybe we get something out of this one. So let's try to reroll. So I'm trying to see now, because like now we are at the situation where we want to get elemental and attack for each piece. And so we have a lot of work to do. In particular, the helmet needs elemental and attack. Same with this one, it needs elemental and attack. This one has ammo on the third line. The minimum that I would try to get is to get ammo, I guess, like so here. And I'll try to get the elemental and attack on the helmet and the elemental and attack on the armor. So this one, since it's a 1 rock roll, I'm gonna try to fix this. So here's the thing. The first line, LA blue line, is such a bait that I am probably willing to just do a raw change effects. However, I'll probably fix that here after I do this. Let me fix these first. So I want either ammo or attack on the second line. I want ammo or attack or the second line. Ideally attack first, but we can't be choosers. A black line ammo, perfect. Okay, so now I can just perma lock this one. Like we're never gonna reroll that. There you go. So because of this, however, you have ammo on the third line here. You have ammo on the third line here. You have a black line ammo here, and so that means that in this helmet, I don't really need ammo. So I'm just looking for attack here, attack and LA here. I might be more willing to just do a single lock here, but then the thing is like, wait, 24% is how much? It's phase 12. It's the lower of the blue lines. Let me try to fix this one first, the boots. Let's try to fix this boots first. Let's see. I'm trying to get the second line LA or attack. So if it's on the first line, I'm probably more willing to just do a single lock on the third line and try to get something until I get something on the second line. That's when I would do double lock, because like you could get lucky and do something like this, right? The ammo was on the first line, but then it switched to back line, right? And it's also costing us less rocks per roll. So I'm trying to see if I can get an elemental, at least elemental, because I want 4 elementals at the very least. Rapi has a lot of attack on her own. Okay, we got the elemental here. Okay, so now we are technically in the situation where we have 4 elemental. However, we're missing attack lines. Lots of attack lines that we're missing. That could be better. Okay, let's try to get the attack line here. And just like that, it's just that easy. All right, so we got the attack line there on the first line. Now I need to get the attack line on the boots and the helmet. I refuse to be baited by this first line because Rapi is such a good character. Okay, maybe if it's like not a good character, but I'm gonna reroll out of this personally. I'll just reroll out of it. Either LA or attack on the third line. Okay. A black line crit rate is another matter, but then we also have elemental. So I might take this actually, because we already solved the ammo. We already solved the ammo situation. You have 3 ammo. So I might take this crit rate and try to roll for attack line left. Yeah. So I'm gonna perma lock this because I'm not gonna reroll it anymore. Temp lock this because we will still want a higher value, and then try to get an attack line here. Just like that, and then now it's a low value for both attack line and elemental, so we reset this. Attack 13. Okay, both increased. I want to get the elemental a little higher. A black line elemental, you. So now we got the black line elemental here, we got this one, so now we're just missing a attack line here. However, right now, just so let's start off with this. We have 4 elemental, 3 attack lines, 3 ammo lines, so we're just missing 1 attack line for best in slot Red Hood. And we are sitting at, I'm just gonna do the math here. You are sitting at 95% LA. However, like I said, it's the same thing as this one. We'll try to max this out. I probably wouldn't try to lock this elemental. I'll just do a change effects here. Hopefully I get something on the second line. Either attack or LA, ideally. Again, I don't want to do a double lock because again, we could also win big, right? So I don't want to do a double lock, especially if it's not the blue or black line elemental at the top there. Maybe if I have a third line and then the top line is like a blue line, I might be locking that. But since it's not, I'm probably more willing to just give it up. And I'm trying to get something on the second line. Ideally at both attack and LA, but see, we are now let's do this. Okay, attack second line, great. So now you still have 2000 custom lock, so I'll probably do double lock custom lock here. Hopefully we get the elemental. Trying to get the last elemental. Come on, give us the last one. Let me try to reset attributes real quick. Get something. 10%. I'll take that. The reason why I took a less ammo is because I have a black line ammo here already, and I have a 64% here, so I can take a lower hit on that ammo. I want to permalock one thing, but I can't. I want something either a blue line first though, or either that. Okay, let me do a double custom lock again. You still have 2k. You have a lot. I won't do this. I won't do double custom lock if you're sitting at less than 1k. But come on, I clicked change effects. I made sure. That's some bullshit. One more double, and then I'll probably start trying to fish a tier 10 or higher first. Okay, you know what? We're done. There you go. 12 out of 12 Rapi. We're done. Right there. So it took us how much? 655 minus 529. 126 rocks. 12 out of 12. Now, however, we still have some things to do. This one in particular have... I think we can min-max this. I'll probably do 29 rocks to min-max. Just some of the values. For example, this attack line is kind of low. That attack line is kind of low. So I kind of want to... Let's start off though with the ones that I don't need rock on. Let's see. 1, 22, 10, 27. You do have 3 ammo lines and one of them is black. Let me try to re-roll this attack line first. 10, 52. Okay, great. So we have that. So 759 on both. 10. Okay, I can try to win it big here with 2. Let me see. Just one try. 11, 15. Tier 11 attack. I could try that and then like temp block and then get a higher LA. Yeah. Let me see. I do want a higher value of ammo here also, because like you're sitting at 52 here. Let's see if we can get something good here. That ammo is not really cooperating. I could do a single lock and then roll, but I could keep going also. On average, this feels a little better, but not really the great amounts though. Like I said I was gonna give 29 rocks, right? And I'll get that to 500. This piece is not really it's kind of difficult because like retrieve, if there's one blue line, it's a little bit easier. Okay, I could do this. So because like right now it's 52 and 64. I do want it to be a pretty good value. I want the L to be a little higher. There you go. The attack went down though, but that's one thing. So but then that made it up a little bit because like we have a higher attack here. So this was 153 rocks so far. So with 153 rocks, we managed to get. All right, let's add this up. That elemental was kind of low. Hold up, it's kind of low. I need to reset attribute this a little bit. You plus 24.96, 90. Okay, you know what? It's so close to 100. Can I just hit the 100? Hold up. I refuse to not get 100 here. Hold up. I'm gonna get 100 here. Can I please get 100? Dude, there's no way. 100. Yes, that's good. Okay, 105 LA rapi. There you go. 105 LA rapi. So 105 LA, and then the attack is 10.35. That attack. I mean, the thing is, you have 64. Okay, how much ammo? 52.5 plus 85.37. 202 ammo. So you have 105 LA, 35, 36 attack with 200 ammo. And it took us 167 rocks. So whenever we try to min-max a character, that sounds about right. About between 100 to 200 rocks. Min-max like 12 out of 12. Anyways, I just wanted to... Yeah, now your rapi Red Hood is like the strongest right now. It's a 12 out of 12 rapi Red Hood. Do you see? So when you guys have this much rocks, I can like min-max a unit so easily. Now let's start to move. I didn't really look at your other units, so let me take a look at these other units. Okay, you have LA ammo here. What the and that's it mostly for the guide on rerolling overloads. The concept and process is repeated to more units. In this account, I also rerolled Scarlet Black Shadow, Red Hood, overspec Mihara, Siren, Helm, and Minmax also a few other units in the live stream that's in front of your screen. If you want to see how they're rerolled, you can go ahead and check that video out. There might be other situations that might pique your interest, and maybe I didn't cover it in this particular video. In case you're curious, at the end of that account review, we ended up with these stats for these units. We essentially did full fresh rerolls on all the gear pieces for those units that I mentioned. I hope this video helped you out. I noticed that even though I posted that rerolling guide before, some people are still finding some situations where they get stuck on. These two rerolls that I covered in this video covered a lot of the situation as we went through the different processes. Depending on your goal on the unit, you might even have stopped earlier than that to divert your resources or reprioritize for other units. As usual, go click that like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed this and found the video useful. We'll have more Minmax guide upcoming soon. Be sure to look forward to those. If you guys have any questions, I usually just hang out at Twitch at twitch.tv/xguillotine. Even if I'm playing other games, some people still come over and just ask some Nikke questions, and I am usually fine to answer all of those questions. In any case, that's about it. I'll see you guys next time.